Ever wonder what separates the super successful from everyone else? It's not just talent or luck. It's the daily rituals they use to shape their mindset. Discover the powerful secrets that can unlock your own potential for success. Success isn't accidental. It's engineered, designed, and constructed deliberately, day by day, habit by habit, thought by thought. And those who rise to the top aren't necessarily the smartest or the most educated. They're the most disciplined. They build mental routines like a blacksmith forging steel, and they repeat those rituals until their mindset becomes an unstoppable force. Napoleon Hill, in his groundbreaking book Think and Grow Rich, didn't just talk about money. He talked about the mindset that leads to money. He studied hundreds of the world's most powerful and wealthy people: Carnegie, Edison, Ford, Rockefeller. And do you know what he found? They all had daily rituals to train their thoughts. They were obsessed with shaping their minds because they understood that wealth starts in the invisible world of thought before it manifests in the physical world. Successful people begin their day with purpose. Before the world distracts them with emails, news, or problems, they take control of their morning. They wake up early, not to rush, but to dominate the day. They read, they reflect, they write. Some meditate, others visualize. But all of them do one thing in common. They prime their minds for success before the world has a chance to infect them with doubt or fear. Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." This isn't just a quote to memorize, it's a way of life. If you wake up thinking you're behind, tired, or unlucky, that becomes your reality. But if you train yourself to think with belief, conviction, and clarity, your life bends in that direction. Your rituals are the gym where your mindset trains. One of the most powerful rituals the wealthy follow is autosuggestion. Napoleon Hill emphasized this more than most people realize. Speaking your goals aloud, affirming your vision, planting the seeds of belief into your subconscious every single day, this is how your inner world becomes fertile ground for success. You can't just wish for success. You have to convince your subconscious that success is inevitable. That takes repetition. That takes ritual. Do you think Elon Musk wakes up hoping the day will be good? No, he creates it. Do you believe Oprah stumbled into abundance? No, she practiced gratitude, visualized her future, and moved with intention long before anyone knew her name. They, like Hill's subjects, mastered the mental game first. Gratitude is another critical ritual. The truly wealthy don't just chase what they don't have, they celebrate what they already do. Why? Because gratitude trains the brain to focus on abundance. And where your focus goes, energy flows. Start your day with 3 things you're thankful for. Say them out loud. Feel them. Let your physiology shift with that emotion. You'll be amazed at how quickly your perspective on money and success changes when you see the world through the lens of abundance, not scarcity. Now let's talk about the power of intention. High performers don't drift, they direct. Every day they decide what matters most. They write their goals, they visualize the outcome, and they lock in on a target. Napoleon Hill said that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. That's not a fancy way of saying set goals. It means you must burn the ships behind you. You must commit so fully to your purpose that failure isn't an option. That level of focus comes from daily rituals that reinforce your purpose. Journaling, visualization, affirmations. These aren't buzzwords, they're weapons. They are tools used by billionaires, champions, and visionaries. And yet most people skip them because they seem too simple, too slow. But those rituals are the difference between reacting to life and creating it. Hill also taught the power of a mastermind group, a circle of people who challenge you, support you, and help you think bigger. Wealthy minds don't spend time with people who drain them. They create daily rituals of association, reading powerful ideas, listening to empowering voices, meeting with ambitious minds. They feed their minds with inspiration, not gossip, with ideas, not distractions. Who you listen to daily becomes the voice inside your head. Make sure it's a voice that lifts you up. Discipline is a ritual too, and it's non-negotiable. You won't always feel like visualizing. You won't always feel like affirming. You won't always want to journal your wins or plan your day. But wealth isn't built on what you feel like doing. It's built on what you do regardless of feeling. Every successful person you admire has trained their mind like an athlete trains their body. They don't wait for motivation. They move with consistency. And that consistency is forged in ritual. You must begin to see yourself as the architect of your reality. Your thoughts are the blueprints. Your rituals are the builders. Your habits are the bricks. And every day you either construct a palace of wealth or a prison of poverty through the rituals you choose. Hill called this the law of cosmic habit force. Once you repeat a thought or action enough, the universe begins to support it. That's why rituals are sacred. They're not just routines. They're the force that shapes your destiny. Want to master wealth? Start by mastering the first hour of your day. Want to elevate your mindset? Guard your inputs, your thoughts, your environment, your company. Want to rise above average? Then do what the average never will. Commit to mental rituals every single day. Wealth begins in the mind. Success is created in silence, long before it's celebrated in public. The rituals you practice in private are the results you display in public. Speak abundance, move with purpose, think with clarity, and above all, believe with relentless conviction. The world doesn't give you what you want, it gives you who you are. So become the kind of person wealth is attracted to, someone who thinks big, who speaks powerfully, who acts consistently, who creates daily, grows endlessly, and never settles. You've started to shape your rituals. You've realized your thoughts are powerful. But now, let's take it further, because knowing is not enough. You must become the embodiment of success. And that means building rituals that are rooted not only in belief, but in persistence. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel." And in the daily rituals of the wealthy, persistence is embedded in everything. It's not about doing something once. It's about doing it every single day, even when results don't show up yet, especially when they don't. Every successful person has walked through the desert of discouragement. But the difference? They kept walking. Their rituals didn't disappear when life got hard. They doubled down. They kept visualizing when things seemed impossible. They kept journaling when the bank account was low. They kept speaking affirmations when nobody else believed in them. Why? Because they weren't reacting to what is. They were building what will be. You must develop rituals that are immune to circumstances. That's what builds resilience. Think of your rituals like anchors in a storm. The wind may howl, the waves may crash, but your mindset stays grounded. Because you've rehearsed victory too many times to accept defeat. Now let's talk about a truth most people ignore. Emotions are powerful, but they are terrible leaders. Wealthy people don't let emotions decide their actions. They've trained themselves to lead with vision, not with moods. That's why rituals matter. They bring consistency when emotions try to bring chaos. Start by guarding your mornings, but also your nights. The successful don't just end their day by falling asleep. They prepare their minds for the next day. They review wins, plan tomorrow, and go to bed with intention. They know that the last thoughts you think before sleeping get impressed on your subconscious. That's where the mind does its deepest work, while you're resting. So ask yourself tonight, am I feeding my mind thoughts of fear, worry, and uncertainty? Or am I planting seeds of courage, vision, and success? One of the most underrated daily rituals is review. Take 5 minutes at the end of each day and ask, what did I do well? What can I improve? What will I do differently tomorrow? Most people live on repeat, not review. They react the same way every day, never upgrading their habits. But not the successful. They study themselves like a scientist, and every night they make subtle changes that compound over time into massive results. This is the power of reflection, and it's a game changer. Now let's go deeper into Hill's concept of definiteness of purpose. If your rituals are scattered, your results will be too. That's why the rich don't just work hard, they work smart. Their rituals are aligned with one central goal. They aren't chasing 10 different dreams. They're laser-focused on one major purpose, and everything they do supports that aim. Ask yourself, what is my chief definite aim? Do my rituals reflect that? Or am I busy without progress? This is the shift. Wealthy minds operate with alignment. When they read, it's aligned with their goal. When they meditate, it's to sharpen their clarity. When they network, it's strategic, not social. Every action has purpose. That's why their results compound. And let's not ignore the importance of belief. Imagine repeating a ritual every day, not with doubt, but with the certainty that your future is already on the way. That's the level of confidence wealthy people cultivate. They speak the future like it's present. They feel success in their bones before the world sees it. You can't wait for the world to believe in you. That's your job. That's your ritual. Every day you must reinforce the belief that you are capable, worthy, and destined to create wealth. Not by chance, but by design. And this leads to one of the most powerful rituals of all, environment engineering. Wealthy people don't live by accident. They design their environment to support their rituals. From the books on their desk, to the apps on their phone, to the people in their proximity, everything is curated. Why? Because your environment is the silent architect of your behavior. If your space is cluttered, your mind will be too. If your circle is negative, your thoughts will follow. That's why changing your environment is a daily decision. Even if you're in a limiting situation now, you can upgrade your digital environment, your mental space, and the voices you allow into your head. Start replacing noise with knowledge. Replace distractions with discipline. Replace comfort with challenge. That is what the successful do. And they do it daily. Hill also taught that successful people act on decisions quickly and change them slowly. That's a ritual of decisiveness. Wealthy individuals don't waste time in indecision. They build the habit of trusting their intuition, making a choice, and moving forward. Because momentum is everything. One decision, followed by action, can change the entire course of your life. Think about that. A single choice, to wake up earlier, to stop scrolling, to start journaling, to invest in your mind, can cascade into a whole new identity. That's the real magic of daily rituals. They're not just tasks, they're identity builders. When you repeat a behavior, you're not just getting better, you're becoming someone new. The ritual rewires your mind to see yourself differently, and once you believe you're a high performer, a visionary, a wealth creator, you'll start acting like one, automatically. That's why consistency is the most underrated superpower in the world. Anyone can be motivated once. But can you build rituals that run even when motivation disappears? That's the question. Because when it comes to wealth, the rewards don't go to the most talented. They go to the most consistent. Let's bring it home with a truth that many ignore. Wealth is internal before it's external. If you want a $1 million life, you need a $1 million mindset. And that mindset is built with small, deliberate actions repeated every day until they become who you are. You are not just creating rituals. You are creating your future self. And that version of you is watching every time you choose discipline over distraction, clarity over chaos, and growth over comfort. So don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for confidence. Don't wait for proof. Begin the rituals today. Write your vision. Speak your goals. Move with focus. Reflect with honesty. Surround yourself with greatness. Train your mind like your future depends on it, because it does. And remember, as Hill wrote, you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. You don't need permission. You need practice, daily, relentless, intentional. That's how wealth is built. That's how greatness is forged. And that's how legacies are made. It all starts with one decision, followed by one ritual, repeated for a lifetime. In the end, there are no secrets, just systems, no shortcuts, just strategy, and no magic, just mindset. Choose your rituals wisely, repeat them relentlessly, and watch as success begins to chase you down.